All right, hi guys. Um, where do I begin? So on the 30th of December 2020, um, I traded this stock, but let's go back from the previous day. Um, on the 20th, 29th, I can't remember exactly where I traded the stock. I believe it was the day before on Tuesday. I traded it. I think here um, into here. Shorted, covered here, made 147, missed this big drop right here. I know I for sure wasn't going to play the bounce, and I didn't even trade it after that. Um, it showed many opportunities um, with this stock, but of course I didn't take advantage of it. Um, Today was a very, I won't say tricky, but it was very illiquid today. Um, Pre-market, after hours in pre-market was showing illiquidity, illiquidity all around. I don't even know why I got into it, but pre-market, I told myself it's illiquid. I shouldn't even touch it, but I did, and I'll explain it to you very soon. So right here somewhere, it opened. Market opened. I wanted to short it like pre-market, but I'm like, yo, I. One thing I'm learning about the stock market too is if you don't know something, and I'm really learning this lesson even more today than what I when I've learned it in the past. But if you don't understand something, or you're not experienced to something, or you don't know how shit is going to react, or you haven't experienced it or watched it, don't fucking touch it. Don't touch it. If you never traded pre-market, or you don't really know how pre-market works or reacts, and how pre-market connects to the market open, stay the fuck away from it. Just watch it and learn from it. And that's what I did. I wanted to short it right here. You can see these little black dots right here. That's pretty much the stock not moving at all. Illiquid. Timothy Sykes calls it the crow. You don't want to fuck with this, so I didn't. And excuse me, I got hiccups right now. Excuse me. So market open, it has this nice spike, or opens. It either opens up here or has this nice spike, but most likely opens up here, comes down, does all this fucking up and down shit. So I didn't touch it. Um, I didn't touch it at all. Then I saw that, okay. Um, I didn't even see this big candlestick. I thought this was the candlestick, that the first minute candlestick, but New Year's. I'm getting the market data because this shit's not good for me anymore. But this second candlestick here, I was playing off of, shorting from here. It was so illiquid. I was just like, what the fuck? So I waited probably like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and then it came down. I made $112, and it continued to go down without me, but I covered, and it had to spike up back up to higher day. Um, Luckily, I covered here or somewhere here because it ended up spiking right back up. Then it came back down again. By the time I covered, I walked away from the computer. I didn't want to trade no more. I should have stayed away from the computer because it spiked up, then it came down again. And when I got back, it was spiking up again. So I shorted right here using high day as risk. And I accidentally, like my mind, I wanted to do 400 shares instead of 300 shares, um, to of course make a bigger gain. But I'm like, no, I'm gonna stick with the 300. And I told myself to stick with the 300, but I guess I accidentally hit 400 shares. So I shorted 400 shares at 27. I think it was 27.49. I don't know what it was. It had to been 27.40, 49 or 71 or something like that. Yeah, it was 71 for sure. Because I shorted near the high day. So I shorted 27.41 with 400 shares, and I was like, fuck. I didn't want that many shares, and and 71 was a bit too far away from my risk, but I had no choice. So it came down a little bit, and then it started uptrending, uptrending, uptrending. It hit my wrist. I just failed to exit the trade. Um, it gave me a chance to profit a little bit right here, but I wanted it to hit another 10 cent down. I would have been up $200 in total. I kind of like set a price target for myself, which I shouldn't have, and I and it just first of all I messed up by entering too big, not cutting because I broke many of my rules. I didn't cut because yesterday I followed all my rules. Today I broke all my rules again. I'm just disappointed in myself, but um, it first I sized it too big. It wasn't going my way. I didn't cut the trade. Then it started going against me. I didn't cut losses quickly. Then I gave back all my gains. It's like once you break one rule, just know it. And I got to remind myself this. Once I break one rule, other rules starts to follow. Me breaking other rules begin to follow, and that's what happened. So it started uptrending. I started breaking more rules, and I finally cut the trade when I went into the red, and I made 112, but I ended up giving back 132. So I gave back all my gains plus another 20. Where I cut, and I hit it. I hit a market order because this was shit was illiquid. Um, and where I cut high day at this point right here is where it started to fade. I was anticipating a fade. See this fade right here? I was anticipating that, and I wanted to cover at 27.50. This shit went lower than my where I anticipated. Where it went to 27.20. When I was shorting from here, it went to 27. I covered at 27. I made 50 cents per share, thinking it would have went lower than here, but it didn't. So when I saw that it started uptrending, I covered, or it wasn't hitting, I covered. So in this stock, if I would have just okay, yeah, I sized in too big. Yes, my entry was bad, but if I would have just covered at high day like I was supposed to, if I just covered even better where it wasn't giving me what I wanted, I could have cut the trade quicker. I would have been straight. And one thing I've learned in this trade was don't stay in stocks for too long. Yeah, you can trade for an hour or so, but don't give it too much time, man. Of course, you want to be patient, but if a stock's not going your way, you need to cut it. And the more time you give it, the more time you risk taking a loss. And I also decided to understand that I'm not trading for me. Yes, I am trading for me, but not really. I'm not trading for me. Sykes trades to donate his money. Me, I'm trading so that I can grow my account, so that I can establish a better life for myself. But more importantly, I can change other people's lives. This is not for me. So I need to be more responsible when it comes to trading. But right here, when I was supposed to cut my losses quickly, I failed to do so at high day. My high day was 27.84. I didn't cut my losses quickly. It kept going up against me, on me. If I did, I could have shorted right here or gave it a second chance, and I could have, I would have saw that it started to pull back now instead of slowly uptrend, and I could have gave this a second shot, and I could have made all this right here from I'll call it 28 to 27.15. So that's about 85-cent difference I would have probably made. I know I wouldn't have caught the holiday. I would have got it at 28 or something, close to $28. And I know I would have covered for the lower, this lowest point from this range to here. But 85 cent, 400 shares. Let's do the math. You know, I hate when it does this. You can never drag it to the next screen. Can never drag this shit to the next. I'm trying to drag the calculator to the next fucking screen. Ah, fuck it. But just know, okay, you know, 85.85 times 400 shares. That could have been a 340 gain. You know, that could have been 340. Of course, I wouldn't have made that, but I was already up 112. I probably could have cut it, lost a few bucks, maybe $50, tried it again, made back to 50 and more, but I failed to follow my rules. I ended up giving back everything and more. Um, I'm honestly disappointed in myself, um, but I'm not perfect. I gotta keep practicing. Um, but I feel like I'm right at the doors of success. I'm just stepping in. Before I was walking towards the door. Last year, earlier this year, I felt like I was approaching the door. Now I feel like I've already opened the door and I'm walking in and I'm feeling my way through success. And I just want to say that I'm proud of myself, but I'm also disappointed in myself for my performance. But this was my trade today. Um, I had a few other stocks on my watch list. These stocks were really low float stocks, JAN, and some other stocks that I've never seen before. But all these stocks were low float. They and I and and they really didn't. They spiked all pre market, but came crashing down for the day. Uh, to go into my history, I was watching this Steady Trade podcast, episode 179. Um, this guy, JJ Gorilla, uh, he spoke some very wise information, very great information that had me thinking to myself, like, yo, this is bigger than what I thought it was. And he was pretty much talking about how um, these market makers operate and how they push the stock up pre market. And I'll show you an example here. Um, Pre-market, they push the stock up and they hold all or majority of the shares or the float, um, and they push it up pre-market, and then let retail traders come in, buy it all, push it up some more, and then they dump it on to everybody else slowly, like a little feather. They say that's the example they use. You want to feather them um, as the market open. And I witnessed this, and I'm like, been seeing this quite often, and and now I'm starting to put two and two together with what he said and what I've been seeing. But this is an example of this happening. But this is with someone who just dumped all their shares and just kept dumping market open, and then I give the chance for retail traders to try to push it up. What it is these stocks are these stocks are or how would I say this? They get these shares for free. They get a large amount of shares for free, and there's a lot of you got to watch the the video, episodes of 179. Former market maker shares must known trading secrets and how he finessed his way into making money in the stock market. But I'm not mad at him. I just learned a lot from him, and I wish he would talk more. I messaged Tim Bowen, and I politely demanded him to interview this guy more. I need more episodes from this guy because uh, I just loved him. All the information he was revealing, it was great. But um, that was my trade for the day. MYOV. I made a major mistake. I was very disappointed in myself. Um, I had to reevaluate everything, and I need to improve. And I'm trying to figure this out. I'm trying to be more disciplined. Uh, I spoke to a person of mine that I know, and she gave me the advice of. I'm like, man, I think there should be some kind of game that can help me be more disciplined. And she was like, I don't think there's a game, but there's probably books to help you. And I thought about um, the book that Tim Grittani read when he was struggling with um, cutting losses in his wrist and one of the traders wrote the book. I forgot the name of it. Forgot the author's name, but I know him. I read one of his books, um, or one of the books that he was in. But I'm considering reading that book. But that's all I had to say.